Okay, hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking about solving functions. The function that we're going to be focusing on today is the function of x, or aka f of x, equals x squared plus 1. Okay, so before we go to our table, I want to show you guys how you would pick a random value for x and fill it into your equation to find the answer for that. So let's say our equation, which is f of x equals x squared plus 1. So, to do this, let's pick a random value for x. Let's do 5. So it would be f, the function of 5, equals 5 squared plus 1. So this equals 5 times 5, and this obviously equals 1. So it would be y, because this equals y equals 25 plus 1, so y would equal 26. Okay, so now to our table. Our table is, the answers to our table are 2, 5, 10 for the negatives. Also for the positives, it would be 2, 5, 10, and the 0 would be 1. Okay, now on to our graph. Okay, so graph our equation, we'll take all the answers from the table and we'll graph them. So for our first x value, it was 0, so we'll go 0 for x, and then 0 equals 1, so we'll go up 1, and place, sorry that's not big enough, place a dot right there. 1 second. Let me make that dot more dot shaped. Okay, there we go. Our next x value was 1, so we'll go over 1. And 1 equaled 2, so we'll go over 1, up 2, and place our dot right there, our graphing point. Next was 3, x would equal 2 next, and 2 was 5, so we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up there. And then our last positive x value was 3, and 3 equals 10, so let's go up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's go over 3, so 1, 2, 3, 1, and then let's go up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Way up at the tippy top. Okay, so our next x values were negative. So we're going to do the same exact thing, but on the negative side of the graph. So, this side of the graph, this side of the graph is negative. This side of the graph is positive. So over to the left side is negative, right side is positive. Up is positive, down is negative. Okay, so on to the graphing. So since our x values were negative, our y values are still positive, so they'd be in the same exact place as our other positive x values, just on the opposite side. So it would be right here. Actually, no, not, because there's no positive, there are no positive or negative 0, 0 is 0. So I'm sorry, so actually it would be right here for the 1s, right here for the 2, and way up here for the 3. So as you can see, our graph resembles a U. So this is a U happy graph. So let's connect this. So it would be a U. Okay, so the question we need to ask ourselves is this a function? To see if this is a function, we look at our graph and we can tell if all of the x values are unique. So if we were to pull up our graph, so our equation is f of x equals x equals second power plus 1. So now we're going to pull up the graph of this and see if this passes our vertical line test. So a vertical line test is where you take your pen, pencil, or whatever utensil you're using, and you draw lines down the graph, like so. And as you can see, if any of our lines have crossed through the graph, the U graph, more than once, then that means that is not past the vertical line test. But as you can see, each green line on our red graph has passed through the U only once. So our conclusion would be, yes, this graph is a function because all x values are unique and it has passed our vertical line test. Period. Okay. So now the other question we need to ask ourselves is, what is a domain? So the domain, as you can see down here, is the x values of the graph. See the x values. So right here are the x values. So the domain would be from where the x values start. Okay, so our domain would be where the x values start. So obviously to the negative side, because we're going left to right. So it would be negative infinity, because you can see how this keeps going and going and going and going. You can't even see the end of it. And then same with the positive side. So it would be negative infinity to infinity. And it just keeps going, if you keep going side to side, to side to side to side to side, it would keep going on forever and ever and ever. Okay, so on to what is range. So, as you can see, range is the y values. So, up and down, vertically. So, as you can see, the graph keeps going up and up and up and up, and it basically has no end. So, just like our domain, the range would be negative infinity to infinity. The next question we would ask ourselves is, are there any special values like a maximum or a minimum point? So to find a maximum point, we need to look at the top of the graph. So as you can see up here, the graph will keep going on and on and on and on and on both sides. So no, there is no maximum points on our graph. The next question would be, is there a minimum point? Now, what we have to do for this is we need to look down here on our graph towards the bottom. And as we can see, yes, there is a minimum point. So you would go x first, which is 0, and then go up 1, which you can see is where the minimum point is. So our minimum point would be 0, 1. So that's our coordinates. And I believe that the math practice standard that I have practiced today here is Model with Mathematics, which is described as, I can clearly show my work using diagrams, words, symbols, and pictures, and I also understood and preserved. I can make sense of problems and not give up when trying to solve them. Thank you for watching.